York, a hell of a town. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down. The people ride in a hole in the ground. New York, it's a hell of a town.
I'm DiNicola. Most people here in Manhattan grew up in towns just like yours. But once I began spending time here, I realized I had been tricked into thinking that this is some monster city. We live next door to the most diverse and exciting city in the world, and I want to dispel some of those myths. And let's start with a real New York character, Jerry the Cabbie.
Bad reputation. I don't know how we got it, but we got it.
Jerry loves the city, and he loves his work.
Could you imagine I got a theater in here every day, and I don't have to pay the 60 bucks?
He knows why people from other parts see New York as dangerous.
First of all, New York is such an important city in the world that if the slightest thing happens here, it's magnified.
A murder in Central Park, Schenectady, you read about in Schenectady. One in Central Park, New York, you read about it around the world.
During the course of normal hours, I don't think you have to worry about anything in New York. I feel safer now in the last few years I've ever felt in my life in New York.
Jerry cannot understand why when you come to the city, you just don't roam. Why you don't confront New Yorkers in neighborhoods rather than find one place and just stay there.
It used to be Mama Leone's till they closed down. I used to tell the people the food sucked.
So come on along with Jerry, me, and a gang of characters who grew up in towns where you live. Discover how easy it is to find the special restaurants in the real New York neighborhoods. Enjoy the simple walks, survey the village, buy clothes cheap, bask in a Harlem tradition, and glide along in the subway. So latch on to the Manhattan rhythms, get out pencil and paper, because when we're all done, I'm going to tell you how to send for a special DiNicola's World brochure so that next time you come here, you're going to feel at home in the big city.
New York, a hell of a town.
Tonight, a special edition of DiNicola's World, at home in the big city.
West 88th between West End and Riverside around the corner from Grant's Tomb. Meet Al McKean, who hosts one of at least 1,400 bed and breakfasts in Manhattan.
Now, the first question people are going to ask, is it safe?
It's very safe here. You'll see single women walking alone at 2 o'clock in the morning.
For $110 a night, you have your own private apartment complete with kitchen, laundry, phone, and answering machine. It's a prime neighborhood. Cabs pass all the time. It's a few blocks away from the subway and a short walk from the heart of the Upper West Side with hundreds of restaurants, shops, and markets. Now, my favorite bed and breakfast is sumptuous apartment on Waverly, a nice neighborhood in the heart of Greenwich Village. It's run by Haitian native Serge Lafontaine and his wife, an executive in a high-powered Manhattan firm.
You want people here who are going to be peaceful.
Yes, but it's safe to walk around, you know, at any time, day or night. Around here it's safe, no problem.
And you can rent this sumptuous village apartment for $125 a night. Driving in Manhattan looks scarier than it is. Mostly, as one friend says, it's a matter of realizing there are no lanes, only opportunities. And as Jerry will tell you, don't interpret the honking horns as rudeness.
Listen to me. I drive in this cab 10, 11 hours a day. I'm real uptight. I'm frustrated. Where am I going to release it? Am I going to go out and punch somebody in the face, or am I going to beep the horn and let some air out of me? Because after I beep the horn, it's my release. Like a balloon, you let the air out, you feel good again. And I'm hoping he gets the message. See, everyone's, watch, we'll start a scenario there. We'll get a whole orchestra going.
If you're going to park on the street, check signs carefully. Never leave anything which looks valuable in plain view. The safest yet, especially if you're in for a few days, try the garage.
My aunt, for instance. She parks in a garage like this. She's afraid she's going to get ripped off.
Those are the things that people who are not from the metropolitan New York area worry about.
Sonny Schwartz is president of Kinney Garages, located all over New York. He realizes that businesses like his can no longer look like run-down dungeons.
Our slogan is clean, white, and bright, and that speaks to the comfort level.
So basically what you're saying is the cars are safe here.
Oh, absolutely.
Is Jerry right? Is New York really becoming a kinder, gentler place?
Canal Street for Chinatown? That's the same for Little Italy?
Same for Little Italy.
All right, subways may not always be kind and gentle, but neither are they cars of doom.
I usually ride it every day back and forth to work, but not frequently in the evenings, but I'm not really concerned about it.
Look at them, families, women alone, guys riding in solemn silence. You realize that the real character of New York is not glitz, but diversity. Anna from Jersey rides the train all the time.
If I'm going to be worried, might as well lock myself in my house.
Cops are at the stations, and as for those who say subways are menacing,
most of the people who do say that are the people who don't live in the city.
Subways are not limousines, but they provide the cheapest and fastest way to get around Manhattan.
Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway, the hip hooray and ballet.
Look, we can try to impress you by talking about all the really big Broadway shows, but the most important thing to know about Broadway is this place right here.
Next.
Why pay full price for a Broadway show when you can go for substantially less by showing up at the half-price tickets booth at 47th and Broadway? Just do it the day of the show, noon for matinees.
This evening, we have about 40 shows available for Broadway and off-Broadway. You can get them at discount, a 50% or 25% discount.
Just make sure that before you hit the booth, you have 4 or 5 selections.
You got a whole bunch of shows lined up for you.
Whole bunch.
You order.
Indiscretion. How to succeed in business. We got our first choice orchestra seats.
Coming up, I'll show you how to send for special 800 numbers for bed and breakfast, last-minute holiday hotel rooms, a subway info line, and more deals on Broadway shows. Once upon a time, the Upper West Side was a danger zone. Not anymore. You can spend a day here and feel the rhythms of what has largely become a gentrified neighborhood bordered by Central Park West and the Hudson River. And it has a distinct hometown feel. Start the day by taking a cab to the corner of Amsterdam and 86th. Have breakfast at Barney Greengrass. There's Barney, who still talks about the time FDR ordered sturgeon from his yacht.
This is not a tourist trap. We've been here since 1929. They come in here, they love our Nova Scotia eggs and onions. Whoever comes in there walks out talking to themselves. People from France, I don't know where they got word of us, but they seem to flock in here. I have no idea how many celebrities walk through these doors. Yes, sir.
Zabar's has become a New York institution.
This is the best salmon in the world. 99.
I was here just for business, and I had to come to Zabar's.
Would you like to taste the piece?
This is really New York.
Mingle with the New Yorkers and feel at home. My favorite West Side market at Broadway and 74th.
Tourists generally don't come here. They're not aware of what we offer here.
This, folks, is a people store, a great neighborhood market with great New York faces.
You know what I like about this place is that you walk in and meet somebody who's on a fixed income or somebody who's maybe making $1 million a year.
60,000 people a week jamming to get things like pasta flown in from Italy.
What do, just put a little olive oil, fresh garlic, fresh cheese, cook it for about 10 minutes. Incredible.
From Fairway, walk 3 blocks to Central Park West. There's the great Museum of Natural. Kids will love the dinosaur exhibit. 5 minutes away on Central Park and West 72nd, this is the Dakota, the first apartment building on the Upper West Side, built in an age when the entire area was one big farm. Here, John Lennon was shot on December 8th, 1980. Around the corner at La Fortuna, Alice, the owner, remembers that Lennon and Yoko Ono came every day for espresso.
What I remember about it was nice. I was young. You have a lot of laughs.
83rd between Amsterdam and Broadway, my mid-afternoon hangout, Cafe Lalo. New Yorkers read, sit, talk, or just think. The Upper West Side is safe and it's one of the easiest places in the world to find your way around. There are hundreds of restaurants. You can get quick, good, and expensive Chinese food at 88 Noodle. One of the best Upper West Side places to take mom for lunch, Sarah Beth's Kitchen. You'll see famous faces here for Sunday brunch. It all began in a family bathtub where Jennifer Firestone's mom, Sarah Beth, worked on a family recipe for marmalade.
Our bathtub became the sink, and we had cauldrons in the kitchen, and orange peels on the walls, and it was too much.
Now Sarah Beth's, well, it's famous. Nighttime, Upper West Side, it's as safe to walk as during the day.
This is a movie theater. It's the best one I've ever been in, and I'm betting it's the finest one in the country.
At Sony IMAX, you have the glamour of the past, the technology of the future, and the comfort of a living room. The sound is fantastic. The prices are half a buck more than in your town, where seats can be hard and the sound generally stinks. The best of all, Sony IMAX 3D, where the adventure falls into your lap. It's a family experience. You and the kids are going to love it. The newest IMAX feature, how appropriate, Across the Sea of Time, a drama with great footage of old New York.
Our birthday!
Looking for a friendly, unpretentious place to take the family? Carmine's at Broadway and 90th. Humongous family portions, entrees, and desserts.
Just like going to your grandmother's on a Sunday. $70 feeds 2 to 4 people.
What's this district called?
This is the Flatiron District.
The Flatiron District, so called for what is perhaps the most photographed edifice in Manhattan.
It's on 23rd Street. It's shaped like an iron. It's flat on top. The first steel construction skyscraper.
Folks, ask any New Yorker. The Flatiron District, which stretches from Union Square on 14th to 23rd, is the hippest new spot in Manhattan.
A lot of places to hang out here. A lot of bars, a lot of restaurants, a lot of clubs.
And there are little nooks like Book Friends. The cafe where you eat is also a library.
The Village.
We're in the Village, okay.
We're at the corner of Astor and Broadway, right across from the Art Deco parking garage. Astor Hair, New York's maybe the world's most democratic place to get a haircut. People of all ages, races, and nationalities come here. There's as many as 85 stylists.
You get a good hair at a reasonable price. It's plain and simple.
But I trust him.
Maria from Burn Hills tells Netto, cut it any way you want.
And then Netto takes care of me. $10.
You want me to tell you about my favorite restaurant in the whole city? This is it.
Around the corner, another Maria find.
It's the kind of place you don't see it written up. You've got to stumble across it.
Acme Bar and Grill, a Texas truck stop owned by Maine native Chandler Santee.
New Yorkers like to feel like they know something that other New Yorkers don't know. One of the problems with that is people who come from out of town never get a chance to learn about those places.
Housed in an old garage, Acme serves up food like Cajun pork chops, chicken fried steak, and at reasonable prices.
Regular folk to stars to rock and roll guys, absolutely.
But you sit down and eat, and it's heaven.
Coming up, sometimes you can have a lot of fun in the places you're least likely to visit.
You know, a bad day in Manhattan can drive you nuts. But even the tense, angry moments can be laced with humor. But just the other night, an argument over a parking place right here.
And this man saw me waiting, pulled up, and tried to slip in to my spot. As you can see, I was backing up, and he's sliding in. He will not move his car. He's rude, he's inconsiderate, and he's lying. And I'm not moving my car until he moves his.
You should go home and wash your mouth.
You should get a life and know how to
brush your teeth, you know. Because
you learn how to
language very dirty. For the lady, very dirty.
Get a life.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to sit here until my boyfriend comes down and wonders where I am.
Your boyfriend's going to come to kick my butt? I can't believe that. I want to see that.
We were doing a story on Friendly New York.
On what?
Friendly New York.
Yeah, is it friendly? It's wonderful. Welcome.
You know, as tense as things may seem, a lot of places in Manhattan are safer than you think.
One of the most maligned places, Central Park, where women walk alone day after day.
Walking through the park, a woman alone, that's suicidal.
Well, I mean, as you can see, there are lots and lots of women doing this. I mean, I feel quite safe. I don't do it late at night.
Somebody woke up.
Meet Amy Engler from Glenville. Maybe you've seen her articles in Rolling Stone, Cosmopolitan, the New York Times. With her husband Andrew and 2 children, she lives a few blocks from the park. There she strolls almost every day.
You walk with the kids?
Yeah.
All over?
All over. I mean, as long as there are people around you, there's no need to be afraid, I think. I think when I go out of the city and I go to places like Schenectady, sometimes I feel more afraid because there's places where there's nobody else around.
With rollerbladers, cyclists, moms, and kids all around, the park is a great place to walk and stop. Going to the park from the east side, there's the zoo, free for kids, a couple bucks for adults.
You scared being here?
No. Scared? Why scared?
Ask Jerry. You don't have to shiver when you think about going to Harlem.
Well, here, look. I'll bet you on every corner you're going to see a cop. In other words, there's so much activity in Harlem that I wouldn't worry about it.
You like the greens?
Very good, very good.
Good. And what you had, greens and yams?
At Lenox and 126th, people from all over Manhattan and all over the world flock to Sylvia's, so named from its owner.
I hope this reminds you of home away from home. Okay? I have so much love to give, and I think my customers feel all the love, because love is not love until you give it away. Hi, Dad, and bye.
When she arrived from South Carolina and started her little place, Sylvia never imagined she would be the queen of soul food heaven.
Stevie Wonder, Janis Jackson, you know, they all come in and they make me feel good that they would take time to really come to Sylvia's.
Right now I have some fried whitings, potato salad, and collard greens. And I'm sharing some of my wife's lima beans.
People of all races and nationalities come to Sylvia's.
Yeah, everybody. It's just neat. It's been here ever since I was a little girl. So it's like coming to the family table.
Yes. Sylvia's daughter, Bedelia, understands the fears of some tourists.
Harlem is just as safe as any place.
The original customers still sit at the counter.
It reminds them in the South when they had one old big long table and long benches to sit and eat. So, so they still want to feel like they're home.
It's Wednesday. Might as well stay in Harlem for Amateur Night at the Apollo.
You got people 2.5 hours away who are afraid to come.
Well, they shouldn't be afraid. I mean, it's from Midtown Manhattan, you can take a cab ride or the subways to get you right here. It's safe. There's always police protection out here.
And they're there when the show is over, where it's easy to hail a cab back downtown.
Again, one of the ironies is that foreigners from across the ocean come here in droves right in the middle of Harlem, and Americans 2 hours away are afraid to come.
We get people from Japan, Germany, France.
Where are you from?
From Germany.
Are you afraid to come here?
No, I'm not. And they're all coming to the Apollo because they realize the tradition and the performance legacy that this house holds.
Each Wednesday, hopeful and petrified amateurs take the stage to see if they can capture one of the most difficult audiences in the history of American show business.
Aretha Franklin, James Brown, Mom Snavely, all of them were Apollo Theater winners.
You better be on when you hit the Apollo stage. If not, the audience will tell you to vamoose. Cheers, boos, catcalls, or hurrahs, a trip to the Apollo smack in the middle of Harlem is a terrific family treat. Next, some special places you won't find in the guidebooks. How about a skincare place even macho boyfriends or husbands enjoy? Products on one side, a family hobby showcase on the other.
We started as an herbal apothecary, and what has developed over the year is a brand of skin and hair care that is based on herbal preparation, natural ingredients.
150 years old, Kiehl's is a family business. It's a model others have been trying to emulate.
Oh, samples are free, of course.
So you would send me home with some samples?
Oh, yeah, I would send you home with a bag of samples.
Next door, owner, manager, and Kiehl's son-in-law, Klaus Heidegger, displays vintage Harley cycles.
The next thing we know, 50% of our clientele are men.
That's not true, is it, or is it?
That's true.
One thing to remember about Kiehl's, you're not going to find any signs here. In fact, there are no signs. It's kind of an in-place for New Yorkers. But I'll tell you, it's easy to find. It's at 13th and 3rd.
One of the best shopping areas in the city is down on the Lower East Side, Orchard Street.
We go down to the Lower East Side where Jerry takes his wife and mother-in-law.
It's not your typical street.
Check it out.
It's a place you can deal.
So I could maybe get a better price if I talk to you.
All right. No problem.
Have somebody make my wife a dress out of this?
Yes, she would love it.
She would love it?
Yes.
How much?
$5 a yard.
And if it's $5, like if I offer you like $4?
It's possible, yes.
I could offer you $4?
You can offer me $4.
Would you take it?
I always take the money if they give me.
Around the corner from Orchard, Chinatown, safe folks, day or night, Restaurants galore, but it's fun to hang in the marketplace with the people. Shop and munch. You can get a lot for $1.
3 pounds of bananas, $1. $1. 4 dumplings. How much? 2 for $1. 2 for $1? Yeah, scallion. 2 scallion cakes, okay.
From Chinatown, a few blocks up, Jerry can't wait to take me to cheesecake heaven.
Well, one of the best cheesecakes in New York is Eileen's Cheesecake.
Eileen's at the corner of Cleveland and Kenmore.
Okay, what would you like to know? It started
That's
at home.
Eileen, who started with her mother's recipe.
I started making cheesecakes at home in my apartment when I had 2 small children, and it bloomed into a business. We've been the Daily News #1 cheesecake for 5 years in a row.
This is banana cheesecake?
Banana cheesecake with a chocolate cookie crust.
Order any kind you want.
You want to hear them all? Cherry, blueberry, pineapple, strawberry, banana, chocolate cappuccino, amaretto, butter pecan, Rocky Road, cookies and cream, and anything you like.
On Spring between Mott and Mulberry, welcome to Lombardi's America's First Pizzeria.
Absolutely. Very well documented. You look up in the Encyclopedia Britannica Pizza, and they say 1905 Lombardi's.
This is pizza heated in a coal oven. The great Caruso came here after the opera.
There you go. Enjoy.
Believe me, folks, a total coincidence here. Meet waitress Vanessa Repeat.
Where are you from?
Schenectady.
Vanessa's a student at Fashion Institute of Technology, and Vanessa heard about the job from her friend Becky Hayner. Yup, you guessed it. Becky's from Schenectady.
Is it really better than pizza in Schenectady?
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what. Send this self-addressed envelope to at home in the big city. Care of New Center 6, 1400 Balton Road, Box 1400, Schenectady, New York, 12301. And we're going to send you a brochure listing the addresses and telephone numbers of every place we've been, plus a special tip sheet that you're going to find invaluable. I'm not going to pretend that we've discovered everything there is to know about Manhattan, but I hope you've gotten a taste of how much fun you can have and how easy it is to feel at home in a city that I think a lot of you are waiting to discover.